Hi coaches, today we're going to look at the new Colibri screen walkthrough that's going to help you send digital forms to your clients. First of all, you need to start off with a contact record. When you scroll down, you'll see the digital forms paseo or the walkthrough. You'll see the Colibri, the meta hummingbird, and the mission district tiles as a visual colorful cue to catch your eye. The Colibri will always be below the page of the client book. We're going to click on the button that says Review and Send Forms. Don't worry if this person doesn't have a phone number or email or digital form links. If you're worried about that, we're going to be able to tackle all of that through this screen. So the screen pops up in front of us. There's some friendly animals to help us through. We have big green numbers to guide you through it as well. So let's start at the top. Number one is to review the latest for this client. That means the latest dates. This section is going to show you the possible forms that we can send from here are the metas, intake, and consent form. They're actually one single link that goes together. But if either date is missing, you're going to want to make sure and send it. Or for the intake and consent, there may be a date here, but if it's over a year old, it's probably time to send them the link again so they can review everything and update any phone numbers, contact information, maybe add a child to their household. And then down here, you've got the latest Form G. In this case, for this person, there is no date. That means they've never submitted that. And there's a reminder here that the Form G expires on June 30th every year. So if it's after June 30th of the year that they submitted it, it's time for another one. So given this information that I've reviewed, I've now got decisions to make in step 2. I'm going to select the forms to send. Just for fun, for the sake of my demo here, I'm going to select both. How do I select them? These little colorful tiles with the images is how I'm selecting the forms I'd like to send. The title of the forms is below. Send meta intake and consent, or the San Francisco MoCD Form G. Look for the blue check mark in the upper right corner. Even though these are both outlined in blue, if I only see the check mark for the Form G, that's all that's going to go. So let me click that intake and consent again. There, now I see a blue little corner dog-eared check mark on both forms. That's what I want. If I want to unselect one because I changed my mind, just click it again. Just don't be fooled by that blue outline for the blue check. Okay, moving along. Step 3, click Next to update the client's contact info. So let's click Next. All right, communication options. There's a note here I want to make sure you realize. Changing the fields here is permanently changing their record. Please update all you want, but only delete something if you know it's not correct anymore and you don't have anything to replace it. So step number 4, update contact information. Please be thorough. Everything that is here for a reason. Make sure we have a language because the automated messages, emails, and texts that go with the form, we want them to be in the right language. So tell us what it should be. Our demo here is somebody who's got everything set up. I'm free to change this if I want. Maybe they've got a new phone number. I can update that right here. Right? You can change anything you want, update it all you want. You don't have to go back to the client's record to do that separately. You're doing it here. This client is also opted in to text with Meta already. So I've got a green check mark. If I need to, and I think I will here, I need to change this program, this default texting number. I want it to be for the program I work in. I'm going to say I work for Workforce today. And so any alerts that come in, any replies that this person sends via text, I'll make sure to get the alert because I've picked my program number. So that I'll just update. Moving along to step 5, which is just asking you to confirm what you did. So let's look above, make sure the language and the contact information is correct, that I've updated my program text number. If I needed to change the forms I've selected, I've got the previous button here if I need to. But I've double checked and everything looks good. So I'm moving on to step 6 to click Next. Now, Let's pause for a second. This is it. Click next and Salesforce will do the rest. That's why step 5 is so important. If you're not sure, double check what you've entered, because after this, in this case, we've got a client who has an email address, so they will get an email message with the form links in it. This person has a mobile phone number and is opted into text with Meta, so this person will get a text with the links as well. They'll always get some sort of message that explains what it is. It's going to have your name on it as the person who sent it. If they have only an email, they will only get an email. If they have only a mobile phone and they've opted in, they'll get only the text. If they have both, they will get both for their convenience. Of course, they need only fill out the forms once. All right, so that's our review. I'm ready. I'm going to click next. This next screen is really just a confirmation that the messages were sent. Thank you, Kitty. Messages are on their way. Let's click Finish to close the screen. Since we texted somebody here, we are going to see the text messages were sent right away. But if you want to see it right away on this record, you do need to refresh it. And if I scroll down to the Mogli conversation pane, I'm going to see that this was the message that was sent and the language that I chose. It embedded the links that they need for the forms I chose for this client. In this case, it was both the Meta intake and consent link and the Form G. This person also received an email. I used my work email for demonstration purposes. So this is what the email looks like. And you see the form links are here. I could click on those and go to a live link, for instance, like that. This is what the client's going to see. They're going to see our Colibri at the top of the intake. Any information that we already have for them will already be entered. This client was also opted into text. It came from your program's team number that you selected. And again, here are the live links for the forms I decided to send her. If she decides that she has questions or just wants to say thank you, she could reply right back to this message, just like replying to the email. She can reply to the text message, and back in her record, oh, there it is. Here comes her response. And if your Mogli settings are set up right, you'll be getting this alert that she's replied. So you can jump in and help from there. So just to recap, for any contact record, look for the Colibri and the mission tiles, click Review and Send Forms, follow the big green numbers step by step, 1, 2, 3, use the tiles to select the forms you want to send, make sure you've accurately updated their contact information, and Salesforce will do the rest. Thank you.